Well, we love playing at home. Obviously, we've played fairly well in the arena and in Vines in its last couple of seasons. So I think it's a fallacy to think that you're just going to win because you're at home. But I know our guys love the home court advantage that Flames Nation creates when we do have an opportunity to play there. And the opportunities have been seemingly far apart. I think we've played 5 of our 8 on the road and had some long trips. But I do think we've gotten better from the difficult schedule that we've had to face early.
Not that morale was ever bad, but getting that win, what does that do for just the confidence?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you win, I think it helps your group's confidence in their daily approach. There's just a level of accomplishment that I think is incumbent with getting the desired result. That being said, I still think we're in process, and our group's journey it's a daily commitment to that improvement because. Again, when you play in a league like ours, which is really competitive, there's great parity in our league. I know La Tech's 6-1 now. Is it 6-1 or 7-1? And then Sam's only got 2 losses, but we've played everyone except for middle. And I'm just telling you, the margin for error is very, very slim. So when you take out that home court or the road game, I think it'll be a really competitive conference tournament, and hopefully we can be mentally and physically right when that starts in Huntsville.
How physically right are you right
Yeah, I mean, obviously Shiloh has been out. He hasn't practiced since he went to the doctor yesterday. He's chosen not to have surgery, so that would enhance his availability. He hadn't practiced yet, so I have no idea. And I'm a little leery to put him out there without, obviously, probably have to wear a protective mask. And some players, they hate that, and they're not comfortable in it. So we'll see how he goes if he practices with the mask on. JV has not practiced since we got back. He had a separated shoulder. The only thing that you can do for that is time. Knowing JV, I think he'll obviously try and give it a go. And then we have a couple other guys that have some nicks and bruises, but that goes with the territory this time of year.
Going up against Middle Tennessee for the first time, obviously familiarity with Coach McKay.
Yeah.
They've had a little bit of up and down season, maybe some injuries and things. But what are some things, maybe some key players to watch out for?
Well, Nick's done a great job. Given when you lose your Cam was an all-conference preseason all-conference selection. Like he's a really good player, and I think what they've done since then, Porter's playing really well, terrific score at all 3 levels. King's got some deep range, Klay Thompson ability, and they've gotten some good performances off the bench from some guys that weren't getting a ton of minutes, but I like their team. I think they're complete. Their interior strong, even when they come off the bench with Loof. I think when you see Conference USA games, you see a commonality in all the groups. There's an elite athleticism that most of these teams possess. But Nick's team's got some smarts, some skills too, so it'll be another tough one. But they all are. That's just the lane that we drive in this league.
With them, is it one of those things you just have to, I know for you it's not a problem or the team really, but maybe try to block out what their record is and say, this is a team that has the potential to beat anyone on any given night?
Yeah, our guys are like that though, John. Like our guys don't. We don't ever walk into the gym saying, "Hey, we've arrived. This is our game." We know that there's an investment that has to be sincere and authentic for you to have a chance to win the game. And I think that's what I love about our group. They've got the character and the maturity to stay committed to that. So, and I don't see Middle as I don't even know what their record is. When I watch them. I'm sure Nick feels the same way I have. like we're close and just haven't gotten over the hump in a couple of these games. Otherwise, our record could be a lot different, and the narrative would be different as well.
We're basically halfway through the regular season.
We're exactly halfway through, actually, Eddie. Not just basically, exactly.
But you played Jack State twice, and you have to play Miller.
That's true. That's right. Touche. Again, that's 2 weeks in a row you've got me.
I mean, it doesn't happen very often.
Must be the
I'm sure
shoes.
You'll find something with me that's
Nah, never.
It'll be
Never.
pretty obvious when you do, of course. How have you, as a team, been able to evolve now that you're at the halfway point of the Conference USA season, knowing what it takes to win these type of games?
It would depend on how you define evolve, because again, if success is only related to us having more points than the other team, then we're 14-9 and 3-5. So you could speak to how we've evolved or not. But like what I see from our group and their commitment, their ability to navigate negative opinions or frustration or not winning, or like I love them, and I think our growth and the unity that has been created in our locker room, in our house, has been phenomenal, and it's why I think as a coach, and I think every one of our coaches would say this, it's a privilege to be around our dudes. Now, I mean, we want to win the game. We run in such a way to win the prize, right? But we won't be. We will not be defined by this. I've said it when we've cut nets, that this program won't just be based on the outcome of the scoreboard. I think that's a trap, especially in today's culture. But I love our group. I love our chances, and everything we want is still in front of us. So I'd say we've evolved because we are maturing, and that growth is always good for a man.
You touched on it briefly after the game Saturday at UTEP, but having a few days to kind of think about it, how pleased were you with the way the team responded to the events that unfolded at New Mexico State, and then to follow up just 48 hours later and pull out that win late when you were trailing?
Yeah, John, I'll sound like I'm redundant here, but if you would have told me before the game, Shiloh won't play, Joseph will not finish the game and play half the minutes that he usually does, and Kyle Rode wouldn't score his first and only point until 29 seconds left in the game, I'd tell you, it's at UTEP, so that's probably not a good one for us. So the fact that the outcome we had more points than them, yeah, I think people will say, man, it gets the monkey off your back, or you finally won a road game or whatever. But the win in that was the emotional taxation that trip had. I mean, think about it. We know Shiloh in-depthly, right? One of the nicest kids in the world. And for him to, get sucker punched, the air in that room was gone. So I was pleased then at the way we responded, just to have a chance in Las Cruces. But barely practiced the next day, and went out and played a really good UTEP team, and had whatever circumstances that we had that I alluded to earlier. So I think that's what I'm referencing when I tell you, this group is a privilege to be around. And I know people are used to us winning and doing all that, and that's great. But it's about more than that for me. And because of that, I'm really, really proud to be at Liberty and to be a part of this university and this department.
I know bench production at times has been a little bit of an issue this season. Brody seems to be coming on. Also, guys like Sutherland, Yates, Gabriel, are you seeing what you want to out of them in those minutes that you're doing?
Yeah, I think they're improving. I think I could help them by trusting them with more minutes. Yet, I want to win the game. Every game I have 200 minutes in the non-overtime games to distribute accordingly, and quite honestly, sometimes it's not fair. But I'm trying to make decisions to try and win the game. So I think Brody's playing terrifically well. I thought Gabriel's impact on the game was was monumental the other night. Ben and Xander both had some good stints, and Bryson's practiced really well. So I think they'll get more minutes. I hope they do, but not at the expense of trying to get the desired result. Like, you can't. Sometimes this seed is a little unpopular, but again, I like the way our guys are processing it, and they're still fully invested, even in spite of maybe wanting or even having earned a few extra minutes. I think that's, again, the countenance of our group.
Well, if you don't want to end on that, how about Zach Cleveland, his free throw shooting? I'm sure it's been talked about a lot publicly, but for him to bounce back the way he did the last 2 games and seems to be shooting a little bit better, is that from pointers from his coach or what?
Yeah, the free throw shooting, there's that elephant in the room that the more a guy, because it's really a mental thing. Unless there's something mechanically wrong with it, they just got to see it go in. I think he saw it go in regularly enough where he's got some confidence, and it's good for us because he gets to the line a lot, most on our team. And I think all that stuff has a tendency to snowball, and I think we'll shoot it better from the line.